Hey guys, it's Sean with It's Tea Time 2010. I'm actually back at home for a little bit. My girlfriend and I are staying here till we can find an apartment. What can I tell you guys? It's kind of awkward to be back in my old room. It doesn't look anything like my room either, but it's whatever, it's temporary, and we're just grateful to have a place to stay. So this week's topic is on things you feel like you missed out on. You know, there are a few things that I feel like I missed out on. I know there are definitely a lot of things that I can still do, but I think that there's just a certain age that you kind of have your first experiences, and I won't have them, at least when the majority has them, but you know, it is what it is, and, you know, I don't necessarily regret my life and how I've lived it, and I think that I have a very rare and valuable perspective and experience that other males can't say that they've had or experienced, so you have to look at the positives. But as far as things that I feel like I've missed out on, I would say that the one thing that kind of bums me out is, like, the father-son bond. I'm really close to my dad, and I'm not very close to my mom. And it's been that way since I was, like, 5. And I think I guess what I wish I had was, I don't know, the permission to act the way that I feel on the inside. Permission to act like a boy. Permission to roughhouse. Permission to not have to do certain things, like kind of fit and do certain gender roles, and do others. You know, I kind of wish that I would have been allowed to be more myself, and to be taught what it means to be a man and how it is that you become one. And I think that's an experience that I would have really enjoyed having and being able to share with my dad. And instead, you know, it was more like the father-daughter kind of thing, but not typical, because my dad still roughhoused with me quite a bit, to the extent where my mom would kind of get upset. And I mean, I enjoyed it. I was really rough with him. We used to play fight a lot when I was younger, and I mean, my dad is actually pretty feminine. He's not a macho guy by any means. He's very much like a kind of a tech computer nerd. So I don't know that I would have even came out macho to begin with. I probably wouldn't have been too masculine, or, you know, to begin with, even if I was born cisgendered male. And my mom, she pretty much is like runs the household when I was growing up, and she still does. So I don't know how I would have changed or how my experiences would have varied. I just know that that's something that I've always desired, and I often kind of get sad about when I watch movies, when it comes to, like, the father-son bonds. Other things that I feel like I've kind of missed out on, and these are things, some of these things are kind of silly, like, I don't know, entering high school and starting to really date girls, and, you know, knowing that the potential of losing my virginity, or, you know, having to carry around a condom with me in my wallet. I think that's a rite of passage, that to be able to carry around a condom in your wallet, even if you don't need it, or in your pocket, or whatever. And just, I don't know, it was just one of those things that I always kind of envied, and I wish that I could do, you know. You know, that it was never that way, and it kind of bums me out. Also, being able to go to prom as a male, and or any dance for that matter, and ask a girl out and to take her to the dance and stuff like that, even though I don't dance, so I would have been a pretty boring date, I think. But and I did have that regret, because when I went to prom the first time, I went in a bright salmon colored orange dress, like pink whatever dress, and thinking back on it, I have pictures, horrible, horrible pictures. And my date at the time was actually a really good friend of mine, which was nice. But still, I really, really wish that it could have been the other way around. And I actually made up for it to some degree. A couple years later, I started to date someone that was in high school, and I was their prom date, and that was the coolest thing ever because I got to wear, the dress shirt and the tie and the pants, and I got to be the guy, essentially, and I don't know, that was really cool. So I actually don't have too much regret with that, but it is something that I was kind of like, oh, that would have been cool to experience. Other things that I kind of feel like I missed out on would be male camaraderie. Just being a kid and roughhousing and messing around and just being a boy, and I never really experienced that. I've always been more comfortable with girls because, and honestly, it wasn't even necessarily comfort because I was actually pretty uncomfortable. I think what it was I just had this drive to really want to be around girls because I really liked girls. So that kept with me for years, and there weren't that many guys that I was very close to or that I trusted for that matter. So I really feel like I missed out on the male camaraderie. But I can still form that, so it's not too huge a deal. I think one thing that I did miss when I was younger, not so much now, would be learning how to shave. Being able to be with my dad and having him show me how to shave, or having him show me how to pick out, a certain attire for business, or just certain things. And I mean, that's stuff that I learned eventually, but not that I need to shave, but things like that, I missed out. I felt like I missed a lot when I was younger. I feel like that kind of feeling is really just strong when everybody else is learning and experiencing it, and not so much now that I'm older. But yeah, it was. I know that there were things that I missed, and that I felt really strongly about when everybody else was doing it in that time period and having those experiences. So yeah, but other than that, I'm 24. I'm still really young, and I will still have plenty of my 20s to experience, so I'm not too bummed. And again, I wouldn't necessarily trade any of my experiences. So, till next week, guys. Bye.